What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Full Court Talk. As you guys see, Myles is back. What's up?
What's good, guys? Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you. But we have a lot to talk about. Unfortunately, fans are going crazy. They're retaliating against players for whatever reason. So that's gonna be our first topic. Second topic. Could Paul George, Kawhi Leonard leave or be on the move if the Clippers get bounced in the first round? Topic three teams look the best through the first half of the first playoffs. And the last topic is going to be what should the Mavericks do about Kristaps Porzingis? So fans crazy. Let me just briefly talk about the situations that have happened so far. So Russell Westbrook was the first one. He got popcorn dumped on him as he was leaving with an injury. As they were down by a lot, the Sixers. And then Trae Young getting spat on mid-game while he's taking the ball in New York. John Morant's family receiving rude, sexually explicit, and racist comments during a game. And just last night, Kyrie Irving gets a bottle thrown at him. It was a water bottle, like a plastic bottle, but still, you should not be throwing stuff at players. And another thing I saw, Emmanuel quickly said that he had gotten beer thrown at him in New York. Emmanuel quickly is a Knicks player.
Yeah.
So, not sure what's going on there. I don't know if it's true. But I'll let you guys talk about whatever you guys think. What do you guys think about fans attacking players now?
Yeah. Honestly, they're pretty much what it is. They are attacking fans. They are attacking the players. Like, let's be real. Like, it's been around ever since like professional sports, was like created, and like you always have these hecklers and people that talk smack and all that stuff. It's what makes the game fun, obviously. But like recently, they've just taken it to a whole different level. And like, as we all know, like certain fan bases, like especially Utah, and like Vernon Maxwell, former Rockets player, like he hates Utah, right? It's just because like you see how much talking they do and the things that they say, and Boston too. You can argue for the same thing, and it's just like there's a pattern there, and like unfortunately, it's not going to go away anytime soon. But I like what Stephen A. said about how the NBA should react towards it, and how they should, put this guy or female, it doesn't matter. As long as somebody's doing out of pocket stuff, put their picture on the media. Let them be out there so they can be known and whatnot. But it's just they're not going to stop, unfortunately, and it's just going to ruin everything for fans coming back into the stadiums. And you can't generalize and think that everybody's like that, but it's just the Russell Westbrook one is just it's sick, dude, because like he's injured and he's like leaving the game, and Six is already winning by a lot. And like the other incidents where like John Morant's family, Emmanuel quickly, which I don't understand why he's at home. It's just ridiculous, and like I think there's no way for the NBA to stop it, because like what Kyrie said, it's like the problem is deeper in the roots. Like it's almost as if it's systematic racism. You know what I mean? And so like there's no way to stop it, because you can't just interview every fan going into the stadium and say, hey, are you going to throw a water bottle at somebody today, or are you going to behave? You know what I mean? There's no way to do that. You can't police that. You don't know what these fans are capable, especially with alcohol in their system. So it's tough, but like they just, bro, you're just be a fan, like what KD said. You know what I mean? Be a fan, enjoy the game or not, but don't do anything stupid. So, yeah.
This is why we can't have nice things. We have over a year of not going to these games, and then the moment we get a little taste, you just take it too far.
Yeah.
Well, like first, I'm just surprised at how many people are even courtside. Like a lot of these games, I see courtside, they're like right next to each other again. It's like a normal ass game.
Yeah.
And like we don't know if all of them are vaccinated, hopefully, but so that's a whole separate issue. And then it's just like I don't know why fans feel they can act differently than they would in the street.
Yep.
Like you do any of those things to anyone on the street, you're gonna get rocked.
Yep.
And you can't just walk up to someone or even just like sneak up and like pour something on them.
Yeah.
Can't do that. I'm glad they're like all these teams are acting swiftly and banning them and police getting involved. The dude in Boston got arrested. They even like released his name and everything. Yeah, it's just like CJ and like KD said, like be a fan of the game. Keep everything like within bounds of the game. Like KD, you don't have any rings, or Kyrie, LeBron carried you. Like don't bring people's family or like personal stuff, because I think Russ has like said many times that people say stuff about his wife or his kids. Like,
Yep.
grow up. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy that people can't just separate the game from like these people's personal lives. So hopefully all these arenas are like more strict, and the league will even step in to have more strict rules to discourage all this.
Yeah, and like it's getting pretty ridiculous. You know, it's like it seems like every night there's a new incident. And like, fan interactions are some of the best. Like fuel games. Look at Wade and Charlotte again with the purple back. Like he fueled Heat comeback himself. Just Glenn, Spike Lee and Reggie Miller, the choke and grab. You know, like they're some of the best, most iconic situations. It's kind of getting to that point where it's like, should we even have courtside anymore? Because like these people are like hurting players, and like you can spit on someone during a game. You would spit on someone on the street. You spit on someone when they're work. It's just like, why are you doing that? And even during COVID, like that's disgusting.
Yeah.
And then to even further, like should they even allow people in the lower bowl if they're gonna be throwing things, dumping stuff on players? Like it's pretty ridiculous at this point. It's kind of sad because like people just can't go to the game because it's expensive right now. But the people that are taking advantage of privilege, they're just winning these moments by like being rude to players' families, spitting on people, dumping popcorn, and only throwing beer at their home team when they're winning, which I get. But it's pretty ridiculous, and the fans that are doing these things don't represent the whole fan base themselves. But it's getting pretty ridiculous because it seems like every night there's something new. That's pretty sad. But you know, the good thing is the West Coast looks like it's doing pretty well. No interactions that are bad so far. You get the Lakers and Clippers at least, so
yeah,
I guess it's silver lining.
Yeah,
but,
in the East, that's where it's really bad, especially with Atlanta and New York.
Yeah, pretty toxic.
Bad.
Yeah.
Even with the F Trae Young chance, like that one is okay. Nobody will get hurt. Like it comes with it, and Trae Young responded the way that he did, but it's just the spit. Like luckily he didn't get spit on, but who did get spit on? 50 Cent and that female next to him.
Yeah.
So so it's kind of. I mean, I hope they're okay, but yeah, man, you're right. West is okay. East, it's just ridiculous over there.
Yeah. It's just so weird. It's like you wouldn't be doing these things in a normal light, but like because you feel like no one can see you, the cameras can't see you.
Yeah.
You do it. And it's ridiculous that they haven't shown they got that spat young, because you have the camera angle. You just don't release it. It seems like. So it's gonna. Hopefully everything gets better as the playoffs go on. To make I was rooting for the Knicks early on. Now I don't really want to see them further because of how their fan base is acting. They're just two wins. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
And chanting that you want Brooklyn,
I never get
is bad. But go ahead.
Like after teams win championships in any sport, I never understood like rioting and like taking to the streets and just damaging stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, get drunk and do whatever, but don't like damage stuff. I just never understood that.
Yeah, I never understood that either.
Up here.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I think that's more of an East Coast thing. I feel like.
Of course.
I've never seen anything like that. I hope it never happens here. It's just such a weird thing. It's like, are you so happy you wanted to destroy stuff? Weird. But
Yeah.
Hopefully, fan interactions get better because it's kind of ruining the vibe of the playoffs at this point. But go to the next topic. Could Paul George or Kawhi Leonard leave? Be on the move if the Clippers bounce in the first round. So the Clippers and Mavericks are tied 2-2. They have two wins. Paul George has played a lot better this year. He's no longer pretend P. He's playoff
Who?
P.
No, I'm just kidding.
But he's played better. Kawhi has been insanely good for the Clippers, and they still have 2 losses. Luka has been amazing from everywhere but the free throw line for whatever reason. And the Mavericks have looked impressive in those the first 2 wins. Just the last 2 have looked a little lethargic. But this is a good series. I think this is a series a lot of people thought was after the first 2 games, but the Clippers responded well. Kawhi is assumed to, but will he stay if he get bounced in the first round? I'm not sure. Paul seems like a hot commodity, name going around in the trade, so he could be traded. I would trade him because I don't think that's a great fit between Kawhi and Paul George, but could be wrong. If you're the Clippers, who would you rather get rid of, Kawhi or Paul George? Whoever wants to go.
All right, man. I'll go ahead.
Paul George easily. I know you traded that whole haul for him, but in reality, you traded that haul for both players. Kawhi is obviously way better. He's like MVP tier when it comes to the playoffs. Like his shooting splits right now in this series, it's insane. It's like 60 from the field, like 40 or 50 from 3, and like 90 from the free throw line. It's just a matter of if he wants to stay, because no matter what, you want to keep at least one. Paul George is the one under contract. So if Kawhi asks for Paul George to be traded in order for him to stay, you have to do that. It's been surprising to me because when it was announced that they would be teaming up, it seemed like such a good fit, even with Doc Rivers as a coach. Doc or Ty Lue, you can't go wrong, really. I don't know if it's just because lack of a playmaking point guard. I mean, they have Rondo now, but and he has helped with the last 2 games. Although, like now, I think for Kawhi to stay, at least they might have to make the conference finals. It felt like a sure thing that he would leave if they got swept or even like lost in 5 to the Mavs. But this series is looking like they're going to be able to pull it out. It just depends when the Clippers lose, or if they do, and how they do it. If they get embarrassed again, they should be shaking in their boots for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, like I agree. If I'm the Clippers, I'm doing absolutely everything that I can to keep Kawhi. Like if of the 2, like I'd rather get rid of PG, and this is not my bias talking. Like it's just Kawhi, like Myles said, he's the MVP tier player of the 2, and so I honestly think that like if the Clippers were to lose in the first round, he's as good as gone. But if they make it to the conference finals, even to the finals, like I think Kawhi has a good chance of staying. But honestly, like they need to be successful in the postseason. Otherwise, like one of the 2 is good as gone. And I know like PG's under contract, but I know that they're probably going to blow it up between the 2 if they can't find success. And so like the Clippers, like the first 2 games, they look like frauds again, but they picked it back up. Who knows? This series might go to 7, but if Luka and the Mavs can pull this off, there's trouble with the Clippers for sure. And being a Laker fan, like I'm not saying that lightly, and it's just I really hope that they can get it together. Just because at the end of the day, like we make fun of PG and Kawhi, but they're 2 amazing players. You know what I mean? It's just that PG just can't perform in the playoffs, but he's been breaking that, so hopefully. But yeah, long story short, like from the Clippers, I'd rather keep Kawhi.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty easy thing to assume. Like you're gonna get like you if you have the choice, you're gonna keep.
Yeah.
But where would be the best fit for Paul George if he was traded then?
Indiana. I'm just kidding. Oh man, that's a good question, bro. Honestly,
I was
you
gonna
know
say
what?
beside the Splash Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm kind of like iffy on that because I think he would be a good fit, but like he brings a lot of like baggage, I guess. You know, he brings a lot of attitude, and I'm not sure if like would he mesh with Mond or like Steve Kerr even, but if he can hit threes and play defense, it's an upgraded version of Andrew Wiggins to me.
Oh, for sure. Like I think
Smaller
if
contract.
like just put him with Draymond, I mean he's gonna have to fit in because Draymond's not letting anything slide.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Bro, call me crazy, but I think he would do well in Portland with Dame.
Oh, but we'll have to give up for a guy like Paul George. Would you have to give up CJ?
Yep, you would have to give up CJ for sure. You would have to give up CJ. You would have to give up a lot of your young pieces, Anthony Simons. You got to throw in people like Harry Giles. You know, might even throw Zach Collins in there just because that experiment hasn't panned out. But yeah, Portland for sure. Like to me, like I know Dame did him dirty with that game winner, but you know, hopefully let bygones be bygones, and you know they can play alongside together because, you know, CJ and Dame, like they're a tremendous backcourt, but it's just that they haven't been able to take that next step, and maybe getting a two-way player in PG alongside him, maybe Dame can actually get over the hump. But who knows? The postseason's not done for them. So, but I just think Blazers would be a good fit too for PG.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good fit. I think the experiment with Damon has succeeded in some ways. I think they're really good playoff team, but I mean they just don't have enough to be contender at the moment. And getting under next to Dame would be super good for them. So I think that'd be a good fit. Well.
Mm-hmm.
But going on to the next topic, which teams have looked the best the first half of the playoffs? Who do you guys think has looked the best, or the most? Whichever one you want to go with.
Yeah. Brooklyn.
Go TJ.
Brooklyn, bro.
Been really nice.
Yeah, the numbers that KD puts up post injury, what Harden puts up, Kyrie puts up. Oh my, it's just they're looking scary, and I feel the exact same way that Myles feels about James Harden, and Kyrie. I do want to see them get a ring. I mean, it might be at the expense of the Lakers or somebody else, but it's looking like it's their year, bro. Because Brooklyn, there's just too much firepower there. And aside from them, I mean, this isn't me just being humble. The Suns look good, bro. Like even with CP3 allegedly getting injured, I mean, he bounced back. He bounced back, bro. Especially that last game, he looked like himself. And fortunately, like that hit did look bad, and I'm just glad that he was able to recover. But the Suns look good. Devin Booker looks like he's playoff ready, and DeAndre Ayton looks like the second coming of Shaq. My goodness, you know what I mean? And so like, those are the two teams for me from both conferences.
I'm gonna start with Milwaukee because going into that series, I had the Heat winning in like 6 because we saw how much trouble they gave Milwaukee last year. And we're seeing now maybe Drew Holiday was worth that trade. Chris Middleton has emerged as a good ass closer. Like I trust him with the ball in his hands to either make a shot, create one for someone else. He shoots well from everywhere, even the free throw line. It's a perfect combo because I feel like every championship team always has that one dude who carries the load for most of it, and then the one who seals the deal. So like Shaq, Kobe, Bron and AD a little, Bron and Kyrie. I see a little of that with Giannis and Middleton, and they have Holiday to help with that. Brooke Lopez has looked really good. They're just a deep team, and they're really good defensively. And to just whoop the Heat like that after what happened last year, I respect the hell out of it. So them, and then I'm gonna go with Portland too, because I know that series is tied, but I thought they would have no answer for Jokic. They've given him and just Denver's whole offense some problems. Well, I shouldn't say offense because all the games have been pretty high scoring, but but I thought Denver would win pretty handily. So Portland's for sure pretty dangerous right now.
Yeah, I actually have the Hawks. I've been super impressed with Trae Young, and he's not even hunting for fouls anymore. He looks like a hooper when he actually wants to play basketball. He's been really good, and what they do defensively on Julius Randle is so impressive because Julius Randle's like a bum out there. He's shooting like 30s for field, and also shooting like high 20s from three, which he's 43% in the regular season. So they've done a really nice job on defense. And I also have the Bucks because I didn't expect them to carry the Heat like that. That was really impressive. After a close first game, then blowing them out game straight, something like that. That's pretty impressive. And this might be a weird, but I have the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies have held their own against the Utah Jazz #1 seed, and even though they're down 2-1 as of recording, Ja Morant has looked insanely good. 47 from a sophomore.
47, bro.
Insane.
Coming out party.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's been such a good player, and the Grizzlies really look like they're going to be really good next year. I think I would be surprised if they did the playoffs. As much as I hate Lynn Brooks, he's looked really good as well. I don't like what he's doing with Mike Conley, like headbutting, hitting him and stuff. What are you doing, bro?
So
Conley
weird.
is a grit legend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Not a fan of that at all.
You don't need doing that because Mike Conley, he seems like one of the nice guys. So don't do that.
Yeah.
But I gotta admit, he's looked good. You know, been on a pass on defense and he's hit shots. I did want to say this about the Lakers. Lakers are in a difficult position. AD is assumed to be out for Game 5. I looked at that grade 1 groin strain. He's looking at a 1 to 2 week time to heal. So that's tough. But just wanted to throw that out there, guys.
Gotta see if Bron can do it again, man.
I think you guys would be okay. I think LeBron off.
Hey, man, I've been praying ever since yesterday, and God said, let's start Kyle Kuzma. So I'm putting my faith in that. Hopefully, we can get out of the hole. But at the end of the day, series still tied. So if Kyle Kuzma is the answer, then I'm going to leave my faith for that answer.
That's crazy because God told me good luck next year.
I know, right?
God told me.
I'm gonna place a beer. Minutes into the game, CJ is gonna have a tweet saying "fuck Kuzma."
Hey, man, I'm sorry, bro.
We need to make that a drinking game,
bro.
Oh
every Kuz slander is a shot.
Bro, hey, you know what though? I will say this. I will say that on the record. I do want to say this since this is recorded and it will be posted. Last game he did really well. He did really well passing the ball and playing the passing lanes. In my opinion, it's just that when he's trying to score, that's when I tweet the F Kyle Kuzma tweets. You know what I mean? Know your role. That's all I have to say because he passes really well. Those are the things that I can't fault him for. Cuts really well. Does everything right except when he's trying to score the ball. So you know what I mean? Like I will say that he did have a better game and 3 for 18 before hitting 3 shots in this game. Man, 3 for 18. I feel like me and Myles can do better in a playoff series, bro.
Facts.
I think I saw that LeBron is like hovering 40% from outside the paint. Something like that. He's been really bad from the perimeter. So he needed a lot better.
Yeah.
at least perimeter,
Well,
because he's
hopefully.
dominating the inside paint. So, but
Yeah.
our last topic: what should the Mavericks do with Kristaps Porzingis? He has been weird for the Mavericks, to say the least. Mark Cuban has gone on the record and said that Luke and Kristaps have had dust ups. We don't know the extent of the dust ups. We just know they're having interior like problems with those two specifically. He did say that uh, Dirk had problems with former teams as well, Jason Terry. But this is a little different. I feel like Jason Terry was much kind of older, and Dirk was a little older as well. Luke is a third, fourth year player. Kristaps is a guy who has had attitude issues before. He had a lot of problems in work, and that's why they treated him for damn nothing. And Luca is all of a sudden this second coming of Jesus for the Mavericks at this point. It's kind of awkward because Porzingis has really regressed ever since coming to Mavericks. He had dominant paint force who could shoot and play defense, and he's kind of just turned into a shooting guard that just takes threes. Like Duncan Robinson at 7'7", but he can't hit like Duncan.
Yeah.
He struggles on defense. He grab boards at 7'3", which is insane to me. It's kind of awkward, but do you think the Mavericks? Do you guys think they should him, or just write it out with him and see if they can get out?
I think you just try to shop him and see what you can get for him. You only need one team out there who's willing to give enough. Health is never. It's tough because you can't predict health. You can't predict someone's going to stay healthy. You can't predict they're going to get hurt all the time. All you can do at that point is just rely on history. And his history is he can't stay healthy. It's kind of like AD, but his are more than like little tick and tacks here. Yeah, it just sucks because Luka's playing so well. And if you even gave him like a CJ McCollum or like a fringe all-star, I feel like they would have this series in control. I mean, taking on that entire Clippers team essentially by himself in his third or fourth year, whatever he is. I just feel bad for him. Hopefully Mark Cuban knows like to surround his star with what he needs. You don't want another LeBron situation where he's unhappy and leaves you for nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they should try to shop him and get the best package they can get.
Yeah, I agree. I think Luka and KP, that experiment has not worked. I know he wanted to replicate what he had potentially with Steve Nash and Dirk, but it's just not it. I think, like Myles said, like you need to get rid of him, see what you can get, and maybe that's another landing spot for PG if it comes down to it. But it's just, if you think about it, Luka is doing this with KP not being a factor. So imagine if he did have that second person, and you can argue that it's Tim Hardaway Jr., but it's Tim Hardaway Jr. as opposed to another like perennial all-star, right? And so like I would argue that Mark Cuban is a smart owner, so he'll know what to do. And Rick Carl's is a good coach, so I think whatever star they decide to bring, whatever they can get for KP, like it's gonna work much better than what they have right now. Because if they're having success, they made the playoffs, they won the first two games of this playoff series against the Clippers with the team that they got now. Imagine if they just upgrade from KP, because he showed flashes. Obviously, when he was in New York, he showed flashes of being a great player, but he just hasn't been able to put it together. And like Myles said, you can't predict health. That's one of the toughest things about sports. But it's just, I think he's had bad luck with it. and I don't think he can ever go back to that New York player that he once was. And so, yeah, if I'm the Mavericks, I'm shopping him this offseason, regardless of what happens during this postseason run that they got going on. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Porzingis is an awkward fix, Luka.
Yeah.
Because Luka is like in all like out things considering, he's an awkward player. He's a guy that is he's Tyreek Evans, but a lot slow. You know, he's not a point guard. He's not a shooting guard. He's like he's gonna play. He's a combo guard. You know.
Yep.
That's all 6'7" with good size. But it's tough to play like that because he runs for fouls. He's not a good shooter. He's a great finisher. He can still put up a 40 piece like that. And he'll get 10 rebounds, 10 assists too. He's a special player. It just kind of seems like Porzingis is content with just jacking up. I mean, there's that player. I think he was trailing on a play, and there was an open lane, but he took a deep three instead of just attacking the paint. And maybe it's because he's afraid of injury again, which I don't blame him, because a torn ACL is not fun. And I'm assuming, especially for a big man, it's going to leave you mentally scarred. But you're 7'3" at the end of the day. You know, you can do something. You don't have to chat. Like, you can take a couple steps in, you know, do something. It's tough to see Porzingis kind of fall because he's such a player in New York, and to see him regress so quickly after great seasons, it's tough. It's definitely tough. But the series is tied 2-2. We'll see if the Clippers take or the Mavericks take. I'm hoping the Mavericks do because I want to see Kawhi go to the Warriors, you know?
Where?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think Kawhi closed his Zillow tab for now, so you gotta you better hit up Luka to drop 50 next game.
I'm sure Kawhi's the Warriors, okay? It was just like KK when there were the rumors, like Kawhi comes, and then everyone's going to complain, and we're going to get a championship for like 3 years. Cycle continues, you know?
Would you want him, though? Because, like, what if there's a narrative, like, say they win, and then people give him the credit over Curry? Like, I know Warrior fans are ride or die for Curry.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's another situation where it's like, oh, it was all Kawhi, you know?
I'd still ships talk.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's a ring, you know? For me, it's cool. And, like, I think it would be an even better fit than KD just because of his defensive abilities. And I know Kawhi need the ball to score as much. It would give Curry a lot more ISO, and you'd have to still pay attention to Kawhi. It's probably not going to happen. I'm assuming Kawhi stays with the Clippers because I don't think he cares about winning anymore because I think he likes being like close to San Diego. But I can dream, you know.
always let him dream.
Always.
But that's podcast 45. Thank you for coming on, and thank both of you for you to get a different time than we recorded. So
my bad.
No, you're good. If I got him to play indoor, be taking that too. So I understand.
100%. Thank you guys as always too.
Yeah, man. We're always happy to have you on. Got our links down in the description for our social media pages. Like, comment, and subscribe. But that's gonna do it. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.